Hi! Welcome back to Dubster, the series where we talk about something that's been English dubbed, let you know if it's good or not, and we all have a laugh at my expense or something. Yeah, and after last time, Berserk 2016, which was so good it made me want to stick my nuts in a piranha's open mouth, we're doing something else this time. With Halloween coming up, I figured, what should we do? Then I remembered this little anime. One that has a lot of controversy surrounding it, for, in my opinion, rather stupid reasons. But we'll get to that. So, Dance in the Vampire Bund. Dance in the Vampire Bund is a manga written by Nozomu Tamaki. Yes, that Tamaki from World High School Host Club. Anyway, it began serialization in December of 2005, with the anime airing in 2010 by Shaft, the people behind Madoka Magica and Ruby Ice Queendom. Oh yeah, that's going to get its turn at some point, trust me on that. Funimation would release a censored version of the Blu-ray in 2011, but fan outrage would have them release a uncut version later. We will get into this controversy at the end, after I'm done going over the dubcast, because, again, I find this kind of dumb. Now, what is this show about? Dance in the Vampire Bund takes place in modern-day Toiko, Tokyo, Japan, where the queen of the vampires, Mina Tepes, a lolly vampire because Japan, basically reveals on national TV that vampires are real, and she has a goal to make a bund, which I didn't even know what a bund was. I had to look it up after watching this show when it first came out a decade ago. For vampires to live peacefully. Basically a small, I guess, society that's to themselves separate from humans. And a step where humans and vamps can coexist. I wonder how this is gonna go. Anyways, soon after that we are introduced to our actual protagonist, high school student generic man himself, Akira. Akira is a dude with no memories until he one day runs into Mina, gets some of his memories back, and realizes, oh, so what you're saying is I'm a werewolf whose family it is to goal is to protect the vampire princess queen Mina. Sure. What follows from there is him having to protect her from humans, vamps, and anything else that might want to stop the creation of her little bund and society for vamps, or anything else that wants to overthrow her, because, you know, they want power of being the royal bloodline leader themselves, etc. And I guess some romance in there, too. That's basically it, honestly. I'd say more on the side characters, because they tried making it a love triangle with Akira's childhood friend Yuki. The problem is none of the side characters leave an impression. At all. In fact, even Akira himself is bland, basic, and bitch-like. The werewolves are betas to the vampires. I knew it. Get fucked, werewolf! Anyway, yeah. That being said, the other issue of this show itself that I had was the pacing. It's only 12 episodes, but it feels like they crammed in 24 to 26 eps worth by the time you're done. Everything moves at such a breakneck pace that it's like, what? Entire arcs are cut down to roughly 2 to 3 episodes that feel like they should be way longer. By episode 7, it feels like you just finished a season finale. It makes no sense. And to be honest, it's one thing I've seen manga readers say is that the manga is much better than the anime, big shock. But I guess Shaft did the whole A1 treatment here and decided to adapt this terribly. But hey, let's get to the English dub itself, which a lot of these people decided to go under aliases. Don't worry though, because the show was dubbed over a decade ago, everyone's basically been revealed to who they are, so I don't have to feel bad about saying who's in the show. That's right, I can be a dick and not feel bad about it this time. As if I did anyways. Our ADR director is Ian Sinclair, who's also a couple one-off characters, with the scriptwriter being Monica Real. We'll get why this is stupid in a minute. And Overall, I think the script was okay, I'll be fair. The dub itself is your typical Funimation dub. You could tell a lot of voice actors here definitely are way less experienced than they are now. I'll get to who in a minute. But, yeah. So, first, we have our protagonist, Mina Tepes, related to Vlad Tepes herself. Now, Mina's character, a lot of people have compared it to Lelouch from Code Geass, because her whole thing is the ends justify the means. To get her vampire society created where vamps can live peacefully, she will use any underhanded tactic possible in order to get the job done. It doesn't matter what it is, even taking a youngling hostage, you know, a young human. Like, she is cruel as fuck, but she believes it's necessary because she is the last member of her royal bloodline and sees it as if she dies, then the vampire race is finished. So she has to bear the burden of being cruel, and I actually think this is a concept the show could have explored more if given more time. Humans and vampires being afraid of one another is a cool idea when their existence is revealed to each other. You know, seeing humans basically be in denial about it, and then being completely, I guess, blatantly racist towards vampires because they're skeptic on what their true motivations are, and if they could even be trusted, especially when you have rogue vamps that just see humans as food. And then Mina's actions not helping things any better. It's a cool idea, just not explored very well because of the show's haphazard runtime. So, someone please let me know if it's handled better in the manga. Now, Mina herself is voiced by Monica Royale, the scriptwriter. What the fuck? Monica has been voicing Queen Cruel from Seraph of the End, speaking of evil lolly vampires, Uzaki-chan, and Boma number 293, the undefeated streak continues. I'm gonna keep this joke up forever. Y'all can't stop me. And I'll be fair here and say Monica does a serviceable job. She tries, so I guess small spoilers, Mina has a super form where she turns very voluptuous when she gets serious in fights. Monica tries giving them two different voices. The problem is, though, is I feel her pitches are all over the place if you listen closely. For example, when she's in Mina's regular form, sometimes her, I guess, deep voice comes out for a few lines. She tries making Mina sound imposing during, you know, political meetings and stuff and press conferences, and I think she does okay. Again, I'm being fair here, guys. I know it's Monica, trust me. I hate the bitch too, but I'm gonna be fair. So, it's alright. After her, we have Akira, basic bitch himself, who went under the name Alpha Lagrange. Yeah, nice try, Eric Vale. We know it's you now, buddy. Who's Ryuen from Classroom of the Elite, Diablo from How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. All this show was okay to put on his resume, I guess. And Trunks from Dragon Ball. And, I mean, he does alright. The problem is Akira is just generic nice guy. I did like the filter they put on his voice when he turns into his werewolf form, though. Thought that was okay. Oh, back to Monica real quick. There's actually a scene where Mina has to talk in ancient Sumerillion. Or Sumerian? Yeah, Sumerillion. Fucking LOTR. Sumerian. At least it's allegedly ancient Sumerian. I don't know what that language sounds like, so someone will have to fill me in. It sounded, though, like it was probably difficult to record, so... Again, give props where I can, I suppose. But yeah, back to Akira. Alpha! Eric does an okay job as him. No complaints. Now for our last major main, we have Yuki, the childhood friend Kun, who's also in love with Akira, but gives up on him really easily. Yeah, makes it clear that she's jealous of Mina and his relationship, yet she doesn't really seem to fight for him. And it just feels really rushed. Well, Yuki is voiced by Alexis Tipton. Trunks from Dragon Ball Super. See, we got two Trunkses here. And the protagonist from I'm the Villainous, So I'm Taming the Final Boss. You could tell how much of an impression this show has on me if I don't even remember her name. Also Hana from Prison School. But, yeah, you could tell Alexis Tipton had started, like, not that long before this dub. She sounds not bad, just not as experienced, not as seasoned, as it were. You're going to get that with a lot of people in this cast list. It doesn't help that Yuki, again, doesn't leave much of an impression. She does narrate a lot of the show, and Alexis tries, but yeah. Oh. After her, we have Vara. Yes, Vara. Who's Mina's, I guess, right-hand woman, attendant. She also protects her and does a lot of her bidding for her on the political side of things. She's voiced by Cameron Smith. Oh, sorry, Colleen Clinkenbeard. These names, man, you understand why I get them confused. Luffy from One Piece, and Elsie from Eden Zero. And it's your typical Colleen role. You've heard Urza? Same thing here, more or less. There's not much more to this character other than, I'm loyal to the Vampire Queen. That is all. Typical Colleen performance. After her, we have Wolf, who's Akira's dad, Wolfgang. That's his name. Get it? He's werewolf. And he's voiced by Chris Sabat. Piccolo, Yami from Black Clover, Jeets, all that stuff. Again, typical Sabat role, so there you go. Nothing really to say here. He's barely in the show as it is, but figured I'd bring him up. After him, we have Mei Rin. Mei Rin her motivations are unclear in the beginning. She shows up claiming to know Akira and be very flirtatious. She's trying to be a femme fatale, I suppose. And she's voiced by Jeremy Lee. Ueharu from the A Certain Magical Index franchise, and Sailor Venus from the Sailor Moon Viz dub. And Jeremy does fine. She's good at playing flirtatious roles, I suppose. Oh. Yeah, nothing really to say. This character is another one who doesn't get... Well, she gets more than some of the other ones. But yeah. After her, we have Nanami, the student council president who gets turned into a vampire partway in, so she gets dragged into it. Again, not really much to her character either, other than she's like some kid she grew up with. I don't know. Whatever. She's voiced by Jenny Mason, who you don't know is Cara Edwards. Yeah. Cara Edwards' alias is weird. Fujisaki from the Danganronpa anime, and Videl from Dragon Ball. And, again, other than this character being a potential Shotokan, I got nothing. This character doesn't leave much of an impression. I wonder if she has more depth in the manga. I don't fucking know. Okay, seriously, no one got mad at Nanami's relationship with who she was invested in, but everyone got pissed off at Mina? Calm down. Calm down, Elvis. You'll get to that in a bit. After her, we have Alphonse. No, not Elric. Unfortunately, I'd rather be watching FMA. He's another one that works under Mina. And, yeah, he's voiced by J. Michael Tatum. Sebastian from Black Butler. I almost said from Black Clover. And Mira from Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And it's, again, he tries coming across as refined, and he does the dirty work. The one who took the human hostage for Mina, basically him. He's the one that likes doing the dirty jobs that no one else will. So, he does okay. I'm rushing through these because a lot of these guys, the characters don't really leave much of an impression. Like these three. The three dumbasses, as I call them, or the three vampire maids to Mina. First, we have Nero. Yes, Nero. Devil May Cry. See? Voiced by Abigail Hartman. Okay, it's Tia Ballard. Happy from Fairy Tail, and Yoshino from Date Alive. And you can tell she's also just soon after starting out here. Her voice is completely different for this character than what you'd normally recognize her as. But, yeah. That's one thing about this dub I did find interesting, was going back and hearing a lot of people I hear now sound much better now than they did back then. So there's that. Nally is the next one, voiced by Trina Nishimura, who's Rhea from DA-Zero, and Francesca from Strike Witches. Same thing applies. I think she probably sounds the best out of the three. But, yeah. The last one is Nella, voiced by Terry Doty, Virgo from Fairy Tail, and Best Girl Teresa from Muv-Loved Alternative Total Eclipse. Again, sounds okay. This is probably the one that leaves the least amount of impression out of all three of them, I guess. As if any of them left impression in the first place. Lastly, I'll mention some of the antagonists before we wrap this up. Again, this is going to be a quick one, guys. First, we have Jean, a vampire who wants to do his own society, where vampires rule over humanity instead of living with them autonomously. Voiced by Jerry Joel. Kyo from Fruits Basket, and Leon from Fairy Tail. And Shenron from Dragon Ball GT. And it's your typical Jerry Joel role. He sounds okay. Got no complaints. And, yeah, after him we have Hysterica. What a fucking name. Hysterica is voiced by Stephanie Young. Which, that is one hell of an alias she went under. Kelly McHalen. I mean, I guess. Well, she's Robin from One Piece, and Chiho's mother, and Deb was a part-timer season 2. Which, that'll probably get its own episode at some point. I think she did decent, too. She clearly had fun hamming it up as evil vampire chick. Oh, I forgot that. The last ones I'll go over are the 3 remaining classic bloodlines, I guess. The 3 leaders of them that show up in the last few episodes. They're the ones that basically want to marry Mina to keep the true bloodline going. So, I'll quickly rush through these. First, we have Rosenmon, voiced by Todd Abercorn. You don't know him, Natsu from Fairy Tail. And Zombies from Resi 2 and 3 Remake. And he does okay job sounding like a dick, because of course, you know, she's meant to be arranged to marry these guys. All 3 of them are assholes. Next is Ivanovic, voiced by Patrick Seitz, doing a honestly okay accent, in my opinion. He's voiced Dio from JoJo, Dracula from Castlevania Symphony of the Night in the redub, and Luke Valentine from Hellsing. This is another vampire to add to his list, holy shit. And the last one we have Lee, voiced by the late great Chris Aris, who also gave his vampire an accent, and I think it also sounded pretty good. It makes him sound really posh. You don't know Chris Aris is Frieza. And yeah, I think all 3 of them did fine. Again, they're just typical noble assholes. As far as ad voice recycling, there was a bit. Jamie Markey voiced several people. And yeah, double casting all over the place with that type of shit. Not as bad as your typical LA dub, but Jamie Markey in particular stands out because of how much she sucks. No, but seriously, her vocal range is terrible, and casting her as multiple people is never a good idea. Outside of that, the only mess up I caught during this was Tia's character saying Requiem instead of Requiem. Yeah, she had an additional R there. But it's fine. Overall, the dub is okay, and the show is very okay. But about the controversy, guess we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, huh? So Funimation released a censored version of this series, and Anime News Network, as well as other people, praised them for it because of several scenes involving Mina. I guess people don't know how to separate anime from reality. Funny, we keep hearing people do that shit today. I guess even 10 years ago this was an issue. Dumbasses, you know Mina's not real, right? It's a drawing. I'm gonna stick by that. I'm sorry, this thing is stupid. Also, again, the hypocrisy. You guys are gonna get mad at Mina, the several hundred-year-old vampire, but not Nanami being into a Shota? Oh yeah, the Shota's name is Yuzuru, voiced by Leia Clark, Mavis from Fairy Tail. So, there you go. Again, same thing applies. Okay, job, I guess, voicing him, but the point I'm getting at is it's just stupid. It's an anime. If you guys disagree with me, fine, but I mean, there was literally a guy, no joke, who said that it's a good thing they censored this because otherwise an American could get arrested for owning this anime. What the fuck? No joke. I promise you I read this comment. Anyway, fan backlash would encourage them to release an uncensored Blu-ray a couple years later. Oh, yeah, for once Funimation, I guess, did listen to people. And I saw some people saying, well, they would never censor an anime again back in 2015, 2016, that they learned from their mistake. Except a year or two later, they censored the Tsukumomo Blu-ray, and then in 2020, we had the Interspecies Reviewers fiasco. Yeah, things never change. Not to mention all those times Funimation would release a censored Blu-ray, Sankaria, High School DxD, just to name a couple, and blame it on the Japanese distributor over there, or licensor, claiming that that's the copies they sent them. Speaking of which, Funimation said they censored it, Dance in the Vampire Bund, and the licensor wholeheartedly agreed with the censorship. I have a hard time believing that, but sure, whatever. Especially with what we know now, with Funimation throwing everyone under the bus themselves. You know what? Good riddance. Fuck off, Funimation. I'm glad you're gone. But yeah. As far as the anime's ending, it's your typical end of an arc. Again, if you want to check it out, if you like vampires that have a hint of romance and some okay action, I didn't even really talk about the animation. I heard people say the animation's okay. It's Shaft. I haven't seen anything animated bad by them. And from what I remember seeing this back when I still had eyes, I remember thinking the animation was okay. The OST, it's also alright. It does an okay job creating a, I guess, horror atmosphere. My favorite episode, honestly, is people have seen it, is when they're in the church and basically camping out, trying to hide from vampires. And it basically does an okay job creating a horror atmosphere because the humans are all alone and you don't know what's going to happen. And it does the typical cliche thing, power goes out. And I don't know. I actually kind of like that. But yeah. Let me know what you all thought of Dance in the Vampire Bund. As far as if this show's going to get a season 2, probably not. And to be honest, if it got a remake, I think it would be funny to see the idiots on Twitter about the anime with Mina. Again, guys, come on. Learn to separate the two. This is stupid already. Remember how many times people bitched about the Dragon Lolly and Dragon Maid? It's the same situation here. But hey, that's just my thoughts. And that was the story of Dance in the Vampire Bund. An anime with controversy, in my opinion, controversy born of stupidity. With a Funimation dub where a lot of people didn't want their names to be attached to it, and yet everyone found out who they were anyways, making that kind of pointless. Aliases seem kind of dumb at this point, with how it's really easy to find out who people are with the advent of the internet. But them's the breaks, I suppose. But hey, hope you all got enjoying. Let me know your thoughts on Dance in the Vampire Bund if you've seen it. If not, maybe give it a watch. Especially for Halloween times. 12 episodes. Could probably knock it out in a day or two. I don't regret watching it, but I doubt I will ever watch it again. Very average vampire anime. If you're looking for a great vampire animes, well, there's Hellsing Ultimate, and Shiki's also pretty solid. That's one we'll probably cover. And if you're looking for ones that are ecchi with vampires, I mean, Rosaria Vampire. That's another one. Oh, yeah. But alright, guys. Thanks again for watching. Hope you all have yourselves a fantastic day. And can't wait to see if someone wants to punch me for saying separate anime from something I don't know. But alright, guys. Have a nice day. And happy Halloween, guys. Thanks again.